Guys, here are the 5 most active investors in all of U.S. Congress, and we're going to break down 5 stocks that they're currently buying. And of course, my question, and probably your question is, do they know something that we don't know? So let's go analyze these 5 stocks being bought by our congressional representatives. So, can you guess who the most active stock trader in all of Congress is? Spoiler alert, it's not Nancy Pelosi. It's this guy, Josh Gottheimer. Is that how I pronounce the name? I don't even know. He's a legend with his timing. He sold Silicon Valley Bank on March 9th, 2023, and they collapsed on March 10th, 2023. No wonder he's on the Committee for Financial Services. 2,666 total trades, and he has been buying Tesla. And by the way, these $46 million net worth, here's the way it works with congressional people. They fill out a questionnaire and they put ranges. Like, do you have an account with a range of 1 to 5 million? So what they do is they take an average of all these. It could be significantly higher. It could be significantly lower. We don't know. But if these trade volumes are correct, my guess is he's probably worth significantly more than that $46 million that is listed right here. So let's see why he's buying Tesla. So guys, we all know I talk about Tesla all the time. Everybody says it's a tech company. I don't believe that. It's a car company. All-time high of $415 a share back on November 4th of 2021. Has not seen that since. Has just been in a downward trend since then. Guys, this is a car company that's selling for 6.5 times price to sales when the average car company is 0.5 to 1 times sales. Now, is there a software component to this company? Sure. Have they monetized that fully? Not even close. So I have to question that and saying, okay, at what point do you start valuing it like a tech company? Because this price to sales ratio, I think like a company like Microsoft, the software business, should sell for between 6 and 9 times sales. But guess what? Microsoft has 70% gross margin. Tesla has 17.8% gross margin. So maybe he thinks the same thing everybody else does out there. Let's go see what we think it's worth. I'm going to pull up the last time I did it in Stock Analyzer. That was back on May 6th. I did some 7, 12, 17% revenue growth assumptions, okay? Profit margin, 10, 15, and 20, which I think is very aggressive. This assumes some sort of software component that does very well because the average car company doesn't do that kind of profit. I did the same free cash flow. For my future PE and price of free cash flow, 15, 20, 25, and I did my 9% desired return. No margin of safety whatsoever. And remember, you need to do margin of safety because if your goal is just to make 9%, just buy a long-term ETF, low-cost ETF, hit the analyze button. Guys, I have a low price of 56, high price of 347, middle price of 150. So if he's buying it, I don't know why, but that's the way it is. Stock number 2, PayPal by Tommy Tuberville. Tommy's a legend in the stock market trading. In 2021, he violated the Federal Stock Act by failing to disclose over 130 separate trades on time. Oh, Tommy Two Tones, what are you doing? Last year, he told The Independent that banning Congress members from trading stocks was ridiculous and would disincentivize people from running for Congress. They might as well start sending robots up here. I think it would really cut back on the amount of people that would want to come up here and serve. Okay, so here's my response to good old Tommy. Tommy, do me a favor. Shut the fuck up. Guys, you go into Congress not because you want to serve, you do it for ego purposes. So put your money to the side, and if you want to sit there and be in Congress and do absolutely nothing but inflate your ego, more power to you. Just put your money into a blind trust, have somebody else manage it. Don't get involved with it. Just go serve the country like your intention is, because there's no reason why you can't serve the country and have somebody else manage your money blindly and do me a favor. Just tell them to buy low cost ETFs. Why the hell are you doing 1,222 total trades? Why even offer this reason for people to question you? This is stupid. Now, Tommy Two Tones over here is buying PayPal, which is a company that I own. Don't buy a company just because Tommy Two Tones, or anybody else on the internet owns PayPal. PayPal is very popular amongst the value community right now. And you have to remember that PayPal has its issues like all companies do. And there's some issues like less users. But one of the things I like about PayPal, the average transaction per user is up, and I like that a lot. So when it comes to PayPal, This is kind of a financial business. So doing the financials on it isn't exactly just straightforward. But let's sit there and look at the free cash flow, $5 billion. And I've literally had people tell me, Paul, PayPal is a dying business. Dying business, huh? Let's go look at their income statement. Last time I checked, when people are dying, things are getting worse. 13, 15.5, 17.8, 21.5, 25.5, 27.5, $30 billion. Let's go look at their quarterly numbers to see how they did last quarter. 7.7 billion in revenue. The same quarter the previous year, 7.04. Dying. Well, I guess it's bizarro world because to me, dying means revenue would be going down. But what do I know? Let's do a quick stock analysis. Oh, by the way, let's look at analysts and see what their earnings per share are. $4.30 a share for this year, going to $8.15. Growing. Listen, they own Venmo. Venmo is a great app. It is awesome to use. It's easy. PayPal is very safe and secure. The reason I like PayPal is I still look at PayPal as like, hey, if I want to buy something and I don't know who the seller is, but they accept PayPal, I'm much more likely to buy from them, and I'm much more likely to trust that my transaction will go well. So let's go to our stock analyzer tool, pull up PayPizzle. Maybe Tommy Two Tones will come on the show sometime and explain why he has 1,222 trades. I have a hard time. Listen, I'm not this Mr. Conspiracy Theory guy, but I look at it going, when you're in Congress, you probably do get a lot of information. Just why even have it? Just separate yourself from that problem. I'm just going to have my money managed with a long-term ETF that's low cost. Just deal with that. That's the only thing I sit there and recommend. Like, you're in Congress. You're setting yourself up after Congress if you want to leave for a very good financial future. Just take that short-term hit on being able to trade. And guess what? You're probably going to do it poorly unless you're Nancy Pelosi. So just stick to the sidelines, let your money be managed, and move on from that. That's all I have to say about this. So guys, if you want to get in that conversation, if you want to sit there and discuss what members of Congress are doing, join our community. Up here, thousands of like-minded investors. Click the link below. We have great trials for you to try out. It's a great way to get in touch with your emotions, not like, that way, but in terms of understanding investments, being able to handle the ups and downs of the market, because it's going to happen to all of us. And you get all the tools to be able to sit there and analyze these companies and make better decisions. So click the link below, go check it out. I guarantee you'll end up being a better investor because of it. So here's my PayPal analysis. I did 4, 7, and 10% revenue growth over the next 10 years. Profit margin, I did 12.5, 15.5, and 18.5. Free cash flow, as you can see, guys, has been higher than its profit margin every single time. So I went 16, 20, and 24. For PE, I did 13, 16, and 19, a little bit lower than I usually do. And I did my 9% desired return. Again, no margin of safety. What's the company worth? I hit the analyze button. I have a low price of 55 to 70, high price of 160 to 200, and a middle price of 95 to 120. I think the juice is worth the squeeze here. That's why I'm in it, but there's a lot of volatility. Don't buy it just because I do or anybody else has it. Do your own research. And the good news is there's a lot of research out there on PayPal. Stock number 3, AMD by Marjorie Taylor Greene, the very famous Marjorie, huge MAGA lady. So much so that she's willing to lose money by investing in DJT, Trump Media and Tech Group. Now, in her defense, she's also buying a lot of treasury bills. I have a lot of T-bills. I do 90-day treasuries to hold my cash, 5.4% returns. I can't complain about that. That's a pretty nice net worth for such a young person. 138 total trades. That's nothing compared to everybody else. But this is what she's doing on AMD. So let's go check out AMD real quick. AMD is down $7 today, 4.22%. So I hope she ain't getting sliced on this one. 47% gross margin. Hey, look at this profit margin, guys. This is not very tech world related. Last year, 4.9%, 5-year average, 10%. AMD is a crazy company. I mean, look at this, 11.8 times price to sales. Obviously, this is a lot lower than NVIDIA, which is like 45 times price to sales. Very low returns on invested capital. Maybe she knows something. Maybe she doesn't. Maybe she's just following the hype because guess what? The stock bottomed at $55 a share back in October of 2022 and it's already at $165 after being down $7 today. The stock has been a high flyer, 52-week high back in March of $227 per share, all-time high as well. So even March 8th to now, Less than, is that 2 months, 2.5, almost 3 months ago. It is down from 227 to 164. That is 30% drop. Guys, good lesson to be learned here. Stocks can fall very quickly. 3 months down 15%, 6 months up 32%, year to date up 18%. Very volatile stock. Very, very volatile. So let's go check out the stock analyzer tool. Actually, let's look at analyst estimates first. Analysts, very bullish. $3.50 EPS this year, growing to $10.89. That's 3x in the next 4 or 5 years. That's a lot of money. $10 per share. But again, at $10 per share, it's selling for about 15 times EPS, 15 times PE right here going 4 years from now. Is that reasonable? I don't know. Let's go to the stock analyzer tool. Let's check this out. Oh, isn't it ironic? On February 27th is when I did the last time. Okay, so I did 8, 12, and 16% revenue growth. I think this is aggressive, but who knows? It could happen. Profit margin, I did 8, 15, and 22. And I assume, guess what, guys? This middle number, these middle numbers have not happened overall for the last 5 or 10 years. So that's still aggressive. I'm assuming they're going to get there. They're going to be able to drive these things up. PE, I did 18, 21, and 24. I did my 9% desired return. I hit the analyze button. I have a low price of 30, high price of 175, middle price of 80. So for me, I have my watch list at $60. That makes sense to me. I don't know what Marjorie's play is. Maybe she has some, I don't know. And I hate to keep saying inside information because I got to think Congress can be watched very, very thoroughly by the SEC. Or maybe I have no idea. But I just look at this thinking to myself, what the heck are they thinking? Just stick to your job. That's all I want to say to you. Stock number 4, Elf Beauty, Marquane Mullen. This bad boy is worth $64 million. Not much trade volume, 6.9 million, 192 trades. Last time was April 3rd. So he's one of the least active, I guess you'd say, from this group. Marquane Mullen, Republican from Oklahoma. Come on, buddy. We have another timing savant. Mullen, who sits on the Environmental Services Senate Committee, bought BMI, which is Badger Meter Inc., on February 7th, 2024. And after he bought it, the EPA passed a mandatory requirement for utilities to upgrade to newer automated water systems. Nice timing there, Mark. BMI is up 40% since you bought it. So what does Mark know about ELF that you'd have to sit there and consider because you got the other one right? Maybe the official congressional makeup? So guys, check out this clip on our good buddy, Marquane.
What Mr. O'Brien just said about right-to-work states versus forced work states. I sure remember working pretty hard and long hours. Pretends like he's self-made. What a clown. Fraud. Always has been, always will be. Quit the tough guy act in these Senate hearings. You know where to find me. Any place, anytime, cowboy. Sir, this is a time, this is a place. If you want to run your mouth, we can be two consenting adults. We can finish it here.
Okay, that's fine. Perfect.
You want to do it now?
I'd love to do it right now.
Well, stand your butt up then.
You stand your butt up.
Oh, hold on.
Big
No,
guy.
no, stop it.
Is that your solution every
Hold it. No, sit down. Sit down. You know, you're a United States Senator. Sit down.
Active.
Oh, okay.
Sit down, please.
All right.
Can I respond, Mr.
Hold
Chairman?
it. Hold it. If
Hold
we
on.
can't,
This
no,
is
I have
what
the
he
mic.
said.
I'm sorry.
This is
Hold
what
it.
he said.
You'll have your time.
Okay.
Can I respond?
Oh, no, you can't. This is a hearing. And God knows the American people have enough contempt for Congress. Let's not
I don't
make
like
it worse.
thugs and
You-
bullies.
You have,
And that's
you
what-
have
I don't
the
like
mic.
you because you
Hold
just
it.
described yourself.
Hold it. You have the mic.
Yeah.
You have time.
All right.
Make your statement.
Then let's do this, because I did challenge you, and I accepted your challenge, and you went quiet.
No, I didn't go quiet. I was.
Hold on.
You challenged me to a cage match,
No,
acting like a
sir.
12-year-old schoolyard
Hold it.
bully.
Excuse
Sir,
me.
hold on.
Hold it. No, excuse me. I have the
I
mic.
will say exactly.
Senator
what he
Mullen,
said.
I have the mic. You have questions on any economic issues, anything that said, go for it. We're not here to talk about physical abuse.
You brought.
We're not
him
talking
in.
about. Of course, I
And,
did.
and let me show you his hearing, because I want to expose this thug to who he is. And
Could you not
2013
point at me? That's disrespectful.
I don't care about respecting you at all. I respect
don't
people that
respect you at all.
respect. So
All right, hold on.
I respect
Hold
people
it.
that I
No.
respect. I hate to say this. I actually agree with Bernie Sanders here. What did he do? Bernie was 100% right here. What is going on? It is hilarious. I do love the fact that they're standing up there getting ready to fight. Well, at least Mullen was, and the other guy was not. But either way, that's very, very funny. And Senator Sanders did the right thing. He said, listen, we have enough contempt here for Congress. We don't need to add to this. They were going to fight. This is incredible. All right, so let's do an analysis on ELF real quick. I'm not familiar with the company. Up 35% year to date, 6 months, 59%. Wow, pretty big stuff. 5 years up 1,700%. Look at this. 5 years, 1,700%. Max though, 611%. So you'd have seen a big drawdown on its stock. You don't even notice it here, but it is a big drawdown on its stock since going public. But either way, wow, gross profit margin of 70%. They're a cosmetic company based in the U.S., accessories for women, which include eyeliner, mascara, false eyelashes, lipstick. Wow, big margin here, guys. Love big margin. But I'm surprised the profit margin isn't that high. They probably spent a lot of money on advertising. PE of 87, price to free cash flow of 176. Okay, seems a little rich. Great thing, balance sheet, $11 billion versus enterprise value of 11.4. This difference here is the net debt. This is an expensive company. This is just expensive. Let's go see their 8 pillars. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. They're a growing company, though, it seems. Analyst estimates, EPS growth of $3 to $4. Wow, big revenue growth, though. Look at this. 81% this year, 27.5%, 17% according to analysts. Not very followed company, so it might be an opportunity for people. Man. I don't even do stock analyzer tool. It's just expensive. When you sign up for our trial, go into the stock analyzer, do this company. It's just really expensive. I just look at it going, how do you justify 200 times, 80 times, 150 times, unless you have massive growth for 10 or 20 years? I don't know enough about the business to make that assessment right now. So please, by all means, do that yourself. Now, for the greatest of all time, the greatest investor of all time, Nancy Pelosi. Warren Buffett, sit to the side. George Soros, sit to the side. This woman is the queen investor. Her latest buy this year, Palo Alto Networks. Estimated net worth, $250 million. Total trades, 164. Average volume, 125. Wow, it's been a while since she traded. That's interesting. Maybe she's starting to not trust people like she did when she wasn't wearing her mask, and she got upset because people found out she wasn't wearing a mask and she trusted the wrong people. And hypocrisy. So, some things I like. $3 billion free cash flow versus $2.5 billion net income. So higher free cash flow, $109 billion market cap, $120 enterprise value. That $12 billion difference is essentially their net debt. So they can easily afford that based on their cash flow. Love that. Look at this. Interesting though. 5-year net income of $320 million, 5-year free cash flow of $1.9 billion. So there's probably some sort of write-off here that occurred that really drove down their net income. Because look at their 5-year price of free cash flow, 57 versus 340 on the PE. So 36 times free cash flow last year. Cybersecurity vendor, 74% gross margin, 31% last year on that. I mean, this is pretty good. I'm ignoring the 5-year profit margin because like I said, there was probably some write-off in there that I don't really care about. Revenue growth. Wow. Big time revenue growth over the years. Incredible. Let's see how the 8 pillars look right now. Shares outstanding are up. Okay, so we have a 5-year PE that's 340. Ignore. 5-year price of free cash flow 58. Something to consider. 7% increase in their shares outstanding. Analyst estimates. 568 a share, going to 1430 in 2028. That's big time growth. Look at this, guys. 30%, 11%, 16.5, 38, 40. I hope the analysts are right about this. And the revenue growth, double digit, 15 to 20% growth. Look at that. 8.16 billion to 15.2. I did revenue growth of 5, 10, and 15%. A little conservative based on their next 5 years, but we'll see how that goes. Margin, 10, 20, and 30%. Free cash flow, 30, 35, and 40. Look at that free cash flow there, crushing it. PE, 15, 18, 21, and 9%. No margin of safety, desired return. Hit the analyze button. Low price of 117, high price of 420. Here we go. Middle price of 224. I'm not interested until it hits below 200. If you haven't watched the video we made on the 5 stocks Nancy Pelosi is buying, click here to check it out right now. Thank you for your time.